What's up, guys? So while I was just doing my birthday stream, this bit of news has gone out with the capital ship for what looks like Holdo. And it's the Raddus, only it's really quite strange. The requirements are just very, very odd. We're required to have Rey's Millennium Falcon, that makes perfect sense. Resistance X-Wing, sure. Poe Dameron's X-Wing, again, totally fine. Then Bosk's Hound's Tooth, Ebon Hawk, Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter, and Lando's Millennium Falcon. These are some pretty bizarre requirements. I get we don't have many resistance ships, but that's by, Capital Games' choice. Surely they could have brought them in a little bit sooner. We've been waiting for something like that for a long time. These requirements just seem... they just don't make any sense whatsoever. Surely bringing the First Order ones in would have made more sense. I mean, we got a mix of dark and light, and all eras. It's just a little bit weird. It's like they've made the event difficult, and those are going to be required because there's really not a decent tank outside of Hound's Tooth. So plug that in, a bit like General Kenobi gets plugged into everything. And it's just a little bit strange. But along with the event, it says both upcoming capital ships, Raddus and the Finalizer, will be earned through this type of event. You will first complete 4 tiers for the 4, 5, 6, 7 star ships and any 4, 5, 6, 7 star capital ships being required respectively. And you unlock the capital ship at 4 stars. Once those tiers are completed, you will unlock a repeatable event that rewards 10 blueprints for each successful completion to finish at upgrading your capital ship. Advanced Fleet Mastery will run 1 to 2 times a month, and though this frequency may be adjusted as we release more units through this type of event. It's a little bit strange. It reminds me of, do you remember when Wicket and Talzin's events first came around? They were a bit like that. You got the character 3-starred, and then you kind of had to grind them at 10 shards every month or so, and the community rioted. Nobody really liked it. I wasn't too bothered because I had mine really well developed, so I coped with it. But a lot of people were quite unhappy with that, and it seems very, very similar. Now, in my stream, somebody did mention one upside to it. Obviously, it will close the gap between free to play and the whales, because they can't just go ahead and buy the progression towards those final stars. They've got to wait, just like the rest of us have to wait. Bearing in mind, we're not going to need relict pilots or something like that, which again opens that gap that has been more than present across the game for quite a while now, particularly noticeable in any PvP mode. So yeah, it's really confused me and caught me by surprise. I did not expect anything like this. I've been flip-flopping on whether the fleet was going to be needed in Galactic Legends. This outright kind of says it will be. One of the things me and McMull talked about was there really wasn't any resistance backup ships. There really isn't enough depth in the First Order ships. And it seems Capital Games' way to get around that problem is, well, who cares? Let's just use ships from everything else as well. So, fair enough. It means we don't have to 7-star a bunch of new ships. But at the same time, it's just a little bit like, okay, sure, people, if this is going to require high gear, you're probably going to have a few people annoyed by Ebon Hawk and Lando, I would say, because not everyone's developed T3 unless you've used the nuke previously, like myself. And Lando, again, it was an amazing ship. It was a decent ship, and it did have some use. I used it a little bit in the Rebel meta. I don't really use it anymore, even though I have it fairly developed. But it's another one of those ships that people are less likely to have developed the pilots for. So yeah, it's they're probably the main stumbling points that I think the community would be unhappy with, along with obviously how long it will take to develop these. But my guess is this is obviously not supposed to replace the Negotiator and the Malevolence anytime soon, and I'm sure a lot of us will be happy about that because we've gone one way or the other. I personally have 7-star Negotiator and I'm farming Malevolence now. There are many on my shard that have 7-star Malevolence and are farming Negotiator now, and the last thing we want is those well-developed fleets that we've invested so much in immediately being rendered useless. I suspect once these are 7-star, they will take over, but it's going to be a long time to get to that point. So this is like later game content. My concern is they're most likely going to be needed for Galactic Legends, which will obviously make that a real long-term prospect as well. So yeah, very strange, but at least it's news, at least it's new content. It's a new event type, although at the same time it kind of feels like a rehash of the initial method of the Wicket Towsing events. It's just a little bit odd, really. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm not going to drag the video out ages. Nobody has time to be wasted like that. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Raddus is coming, Finalize is coming, and this is the event style. So till next time, guys, we out of here.